Hey guys, Blaumagier here, and we're back with another episode of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. In the last episode, we defeated Aghanim and were sent to the Dark World. In this episode, we are setting out to rescue the 7 maidens. And there's a piece of heart right here on the right side of the pyramid. In here is the Palace of the Four Sword, an area that's only in the Game Boy Advance version. We cannot access this area until we beat the game, so we will come back here later. Alright, we got Hinoxes over here. These Cyclops guys that throw bombs. They take a ton of hits to kill. Got a Moblin right there. And I was actually wrong about the names of all the knights in the last episode. The blue ones with the swords were simply called Sword Knights. The red ones with the spears are simply called Spear Knights. And the Ball and Chain Trooper, the gold one was called the Gold Ball and Chain Trooper. And the gray one that we fought in the very first episode was called the Gray Ball and Chain Trooper. I don't remember what that little Venus flytrap looking dude is called. You have to look the name up when it's a little more safe. Alright, let's see. Those are called Snapdragons. Anyway, we have a clear-cut objective. One thing you have to worry about here is when those stone skulls come to life. In the Dark World here, the skulls replace your regular stones. But other than that, and the fact that sometimes they come to life on you, they are identical. So now we have to head over into this area that's equivalent to the Eastern Palace. And we got these Ropas here. And these, replacing the crows, I believe they're called Cayunes or something like that. I can find it real quick. It is Cune. Yeah. That was close. I know those skulls are called Stowls. So there we go. That should be all the new enemies in this area. You do want to have a nice supply of rupees here, at least 110. Very important that you have rupees. Without at least 110 rupees, you cannot enter the dungeon coming up. I'm Kiki the monkey. Kiki, I love rupees more than anything. Can you spare me 10 rupees? Well, we'll give him 10 rupees. Kiki, good choice. I will accompany you for a while. Now, while you have this monkey following you, do not get hit by anything, or else he'll run away and you'll have to pay him 10 rupees again. It's kind of annoying, but luckily, most of the enemies here drop rupees frequently. So it's not a huge deal. Kiki, if you give me 100 rupees, I will open the entrance for you. Kiki. And you want him to do this, because there's no way you can do it yourself. Kiki, good choice. Then I get 100 of your rupees. Kiki. Alright. Welcome to level 1. The Dark Palace. These guys right here are called Helmosaurs, and they're really only vulnerable from the sides or the back. Either one. Let's see, if I remember the layout of this dungeon correctly, you want to go to the right here. And bomb this wall. But that's actually a wall that you can dash into instead. One thing I haven't pointed out yet is that these anti-fairies, you can turn them into regular fairies by spraying magic dust on them. Let's see, what are these electrified guys called? They're like Fairies or something. Blueberries! I was close. These are Gorias. Green Gorias just follow your movements exactly. And they're never a threat. Red Gorias are faster than green Gorias, and they do the opposite of what you do. And if you ever look straight at them, they'll shoot fire at you. So just shoot them with some arrows like that, and that will take care of them. Okay, this is a red Bari, and they split off into berries when you defeat them. I generally will leave red Baris alone, just because they're such a pain when they split into berries. But we can bomb that wall. For a fairy room. And any fairy room that has less than 4 fairies in it is going to have as many fairies as you have bottles. Just so you know. Anyway, over here we get a key. It's good to do this first, because if you do it later, you'll find yourself without a key and like, I don't know where his key is. So that's why I like to do that first. I don't know how many times I've gone through this dungeon and been in that exact situation. Joshua, can you hear me? It's Zelda. I'm locked in Turtle Rock on top of Death Mountain. I know you're doing your best, but please hurry. Oh, jeez, give me a chance. I just got here. Helmsaurs drop bombs quite a lot. I don't remember if there's anything to the left, but I'll go check it out anyway, just in case there is. It's always good to have my bases covered. I think it's just like, oh, it's actually a key. Okay, good thing I came in here then. I was gonna say, I think it's just the compass. But I was wrong. So hitting that switch will open the door and let us out. And now we're ready to head into the bulk of the dungeon. So there's actually a few ways we can go here. But I'm going to go here and bomb this. And we'll fall down. And up here, if we got both of those keys, we can go up here and get the big key. Again, this is something that the earlier you do it, better life will be. Here we have yellow Stalfos. They are identical in every way to the gray Stalfos as we saw in the Eastern Palace. And we we've got these turtle things that we can't actually defeat yet. They are called Terrapins. I like to take advantage of the anti-fairies there. Alright, now that we got all that... stupid Blaumagier. We can head up this way. And get another key. Hooray. We got more blue hard hat beetles, and the red hard hat beetle I failed to point out in the Tower of Hera. You see our big chest over there already. Ah, crap. I didn't mean to do that. And of course that red rupee is gone. Anyways, if we go this way, we'll eventually wrap ourselves back around to be able to get that big chest. We got some green cadondos in here. And they act just like their red counterparts, except I believe these shoot 4 fireballs instead of 3. Got bombs up here. I guess in case you didn't have any, because you're going to need them in just a moment. This is probably the compass. Nope, it's actually a key. One day I'll be right about where the compass is. Anyway, bomb that wall. And we find the big chest with the hammer. You can now drive wooden stakes into the ground. You can use it to pound other things too. Giggity. But anyways, now that we have the hammer, we can defeat the Terrapins. Now, honestly, they're a little more difficult than they're worth. You can actually defeat them instantly by hitting the floor near them with the hammer to knock them over, and then hitting them directly with the hammer. Like that. But if they somehow get back up on their feet, they'll be faster than they were before. Otherwise, I believe they take 2 hits with the Master Sword. There was the compass there, finally. And in this room, we can just get a bunch of rupees. And I think I actually will take advantage of the anti-fairies. And some arrows there. Another key there. And more rupees. And we can see that's the boss's door over there. Well, there's not a whole lot we can do there for now. Go on past here. And this room should look familiar. It's usually a good idea to lure the hard hat beetles down here, and then make a break for it and run over here. Then you can knock them all off the edge, and everything is good. Now if you want to, you can go this way, but there's really nothing over here except for that first room. So I will ignore that. And we want to hit that switch there so that we can go across into this room. One thing that we can't do now with the hammer that we could not previously do is we can now break pots. And if you haven't guessed it, those skulls replace pots in the Dark World. Well, we pretty much got everything in this dungeon, so now it's time to find our way to the boss. We'll take care of these Gorias. And I actually do need my bow here. Shoot this blue statue in the eye and the way will be opened. I do believe that there's a telepathy stone somewhere that will tell you how to get past this. But I didn't see it, but I don't care because I know how to get past that. Here we have moles. They are harmless, but they do block your path. And there you got to see how difficult the Terrapins can really be when you're not using the hammer. It's actually harder to fight them with the hammer than it is without, despite the fact that they take more damage from the hammer than from your Master Sword. Man, these are annoying! I hate dark rooms, so I'm gonna light this up in the hopes that it will carry on into the next room. And what do we... what do you know? It actually did. But it doesn't really matter. We're actually at the boss now. Yep, and you can see a little preview of what the boss is. Usually right before their room, they'll have their face on the floor there. This is the Helmasaur King. And you can't do any actual damage to it until you get rid of its mask. Now there's two ways to get rid of its mask. You can use bombs, which is going to take less bombs, but they're harder to hit with. Or you can just hit it with the hammer, which will take a lot more hits than bombs will, but it's a little easier to actually hit. The biggest worry with the hammer is that you're likely to have him charge into you while you're hitting him with the hammer. Luckily, a hit does knock you back, so if he starts to move back, then you'll be alright. Then your other worry is going to be whenever he doubles up on his attack and does both his fireballs and his tail slash at the same time. I highly recommend carrying a healthy supply of fairies into this boss fight with you. This is generally going to be the hardest boss in the game. And after having used 2 fairies, that does it. Joshua, because of you, I've escaped from the clutches of the evil monsters. Thank you! This world was once the Golden Land, where the Triforce was hidden. But because Ganon, the leader of the thieves, wished it, this world was transformed. I'm sure he's intending to conquer even our light world after building his power here. His hope is to use us maidens and the power of the sages that has been passed on to us as the key to open a larger gate between the worlds near Hyrule Castle. But the gate is not completely open yet. There is still time. Together, we 7 maidens can break the barrier that protects Ganon's hiding place. I can tell you where the other girls are held. I believe you will destroy Ganon. I will return to my original form at that time. Do you understand? Yes. May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce. And that's going to do it for the Dark Palace, level 1. And now we can see where all the others are located. You don't actually have to go in order to get them. In fact, most people will go straight from 1 to 4. And then from there, it kind of boils down to preference, but most people will do 1, then 4, then either 3 or 6, and then 5, and then 2, and then 7. I don't know why they do 2 next to last, but I guess because they can. Oh well. That's actually going to do it for this episode of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I am Blaumagier, and I will see you guys next time. Later.